Welcome back to the Barrel Talk Podcast. We are back with another episode. This is the official Barrel Talk Podcast Bracket Challenge. Me and Cole are coming together doing a bracket, kind of going over some games and some matchups that we like going into the tournament. We just got the bracket not too long ago. Cole, how are we feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. I guess I'll just address, obviously, as you may know from the big board, I'm a Kansas fan, and as everyone's talking about, that top East region is absolutely loaded. We'll get into the games more, but I have to address this first thing. One, St. John's has been one of the best teams in the country towards the end of this season, going on a huge win streak before they had a bad loss to UConn, but then just bounced back, won all the rest of their games, and even just beat UConn to win the first of all, they won the Big East title outright regular season, and then they just won the Big East tournament, and they're sitting at a 5 seed. So that's already, they got screwed themselves, especially being right next to Duke there. But then as a Kansas fan, I feel like we got screwed too. What this is the committee knows that if they put one, John Shire with Duke, Rick Pitino with St. John's, Bill Self of Kansas, Tom Izzo of Michigan State, Mick Cronin of UCLA, and Danny Hurley of UConn all in the same region, they're going to get the best ratings out of that, and that's what I feel like went into this. And I don't like that. I do. It'll make for really good games, but as a Kansas fan, I don't like that. Listen, if you want to win national title, you got to beat everyone anyways. You got to beat the best teams anyways. But it doesn't make me feel good about my team's chance of making the Sweet 16 because of having to play a team like St. John's in round 2, hypothetically. But I'm focused on Cal Baptist.
I'm looking at that East region has just a very tough region just in general. It's loaded. When they were releasing it, when I'm watching it on a Selection Sunday, I was like, wow, like this is like a very crazy region to have, especially for Duke, who's probably been outside of Arizona, like the best team in the country. So they have a really tough path, which I think is going to be some really interesting matchups for them. Anything crazy before we get into making picks that you looked at? Like, how do you feel about Miami, Ohio getting pretty much that last in spot almost?
Once again, I think they deserved, even though, obviously they've been the main topic of like they lost to UMass first round after going 31-0. I think they deserve to just be in regardless as just a normal 11 seed, maybe looking over where VCU's at. I could have seen Miami, Ohio being in a game against North Carolina for ratings, right? A big blue blood in North Carolina versus the story of the year, Miami, Ohio. But what they're probably looking at, once again, I hate to bring ratings into this. It's March. It's not about that. They never go like that. But they want Miami, Ohio on that standalone game on Wednesday night in Dayton in the first 4. It's going to be rocking, too. That's an interstate game for them. They're going to probably have way more fans there than SMU. So they're going to have a standalone. I like them as an 11. I just didn't even know if I thought they deserved to be a play-in. But either way, like I said, it doesn't matter. You got to win the games, and they're still in. The play-in is not like the NBA play-in where you're not a playoff team. If you make the play-in the first 4, you're in. You are a NCAA tournament team.
I agree. And I think there's a world where they get in. Tennessee, however you want to feel about Tennessee, I think that Tennessee beats either one of these teams, just quite frankly.
I agree.
But I also think it's just interesting. And I want to say this just because we're talking about the bracket. Please do not expand the bracket. Don't add more teams because it should be a prestigious thing to get into the tournament. And I think just letting teams in it just to see if you can get the underdog upset stories is just kind of crazy because a lot of the teams that aren't in it, one, don't deserve to be in it. So just keep that simple. It's something that is great. It's legit the greatest tournament in the world.
It doesn't need
the best
change.
Tournament in the world. Don't try to add to something that's already great. Just leave it alone. Leave it as it is. That's kind of my take on it. If they expand it, I'm still making brackets. I'm still going to fall in love with it. But I think just like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's far from broke.
The college football one is broke. There's a reason they are trying to change that. The college basketball one is not broke. It's the best. It's the best.
And I'm happy
right with you
that conference tournament games, because people kind of were in and out on conference tournament games on if they matter, if they don't matter, because the big thing is the tournament anyways. But Purdue winning today and getting the 2 seed and beating Michigan today shows you how much the conference tournament matters. And I think that's just a great thing to note on.
Yeah, because Purdue was 18th in the nation going into the Big Ten tournament. I mean, at that point, you're looking at a 4 or 5 seed. Probably were going to be a 4 regardless, but now they're
Mm.
a 2 because they went and they got that Michigan win. That bolstered. Even if they lost today, they probably earned a 3 just off of the last 2 wins, Nebraska and UCLA, I believe it was. Getting that Michigan win, like it does matter. The seeding matters, and you know how much the seeding matters. People like you're saying about the conference tournament stuff. Like you can go into it and be like, I don't really care about this. I just want to get to March. I don't want to play extra games. I want the rest. Whatever, sure. But look what they just did in the East region we just talked about. They made it almost impossible to make the Final Four out of the East region. The seeding does matter in March. Yes, you have to beat everyone anyways. But like,
Mm.
imagine if Purdue got thrown to be like, I don't know, the 5 where St. John's is or the 4 where Kansas is instead. If they lose first round of Big Ten tournament, then they're having to go through that versus now you're looking at, okay, yeah, we got to beat Gonzaga and Arizona to make a Final Four. Outside that, like Miami, Missouri is a very winnable and probable like Sweet 16 appearance at least for Purdue. So that's a big deal.
Let's start out a little different because the East region is so stacked. We can kind of leave that alone for right now. Let's start out in the Midwest because we were talking about Michigan, and Purdue today. Michigan did lose Purdue in a really, really good game, but we can start out in the Midwest predicting that one. We can start out at the top. I'm pretty sure we both have Michigan. A lot of these we don't need to take a crazy ton of time on. Give some shout outs when due, but we can kind of keep it moving.
Yeah.
Georgia and St. Louis. Georgia back in the tournament, first time in a minute. St. Louis is fun. What are your
thoughts? The 8-9s we're gonna have to spend some time on. These are always the hardest to pick. I'll give my piece quick on this one. This is they love doing this. It's a team in St. Louis with such an efficient offense. They get like 5 guys in double figures who was able to pretty much dominate their conference. I know they ended up winning the A10 tournament. Pretty much able to dominate their conference off of that and how good that offense has been versus a team like Georgia who's going to rely on getting the game physical, very athletic, big conference team, like power conference team. So it kind of makes you like, okay, yeah, like who has been better like when you watch them this year and more consistent? St. Louis. But then you get in those thoughts of what if that game, like you turn on that game and you see how much more athletic Georgia is and how they can really slop it up for St. Louis and give them a look defensively that St. Louis isn't really used to seeing. And I lean Georgia in this one. I think that like it's a thing. I think back. I won't take forever on this, but I think back to like I'm not comparing Iowa and St. Louis, but Iowa when they had Luka Garza and how good that offense was. They were a 2 seed, then they ended up meeting a 7 seed Oregon who was pretty up and down all year in a tough conference, just like Georgia this year. And Oregon just was completely more like physical and athletic team. I think I see Georgia winning this one. But I would understand a St. Louis pick for sure, just because of how efficient that offense has been this year.
I'm kind of in between. We can go Georgia for now, but when we kind of finish the entire bracket, we can go back in this region. Texas Tech Akron, this is another one that you were looking at. 2 great point guards going up against each other. Chris Anderson, our guy, that we're high on for a deep tournament run. But what are your thoughts on Akron, Texas Tech?
I'll be honest, man. Like this is one of I'm picking Akron. If you want to go Texas Tech, I'm okay with us leaning that way, but I want to just go on the record and say I'm picking Akron. I want to give a big shout out to Tavari Johnson. He's player of the year in the MAC this year. He's been doing this. Even last year, he was their second leading scorer, I believe, behind Nate Johnson, who ended up transferring to Kansas State. But I said this earlier to you. John Gross, in his time at Akron, in the last 5 years, he's been in the tournament 4 times. He's won the MAC tournament 3 times in a row. So this is his 3rd year in a row. They've gotten really tough draws as like 13 and 14 seeds, which is understandable, to where he hasn't been able to get that win. They looked good for a little bit against Arizona last year, then just kind of, got outmanned and they were just outmatched. But this year, when you look at Texas Tech, yes, they can play good ball without JT Toppin, but I think Akron can really take advantage of getting a draw like this in a team who's missing one of their guys. Christian Anderson is going to be great, but Akron wants to keep this up tempo. Akron's one of the best and most efficient offenses in the country. On KenPom, they've been around that top 25 range all year, I believe. And I just like a ton of their guys. They're going to play fast paced. They got 2 Ohio State transfers. To me, it's time for them to get the win, but we are a Christian Anderson podcast. So if you believe in Texas Tech going on to the Sweet 16, I have Akron going to the Sweet 16 personally because they are fit to play against Alabama too. But I'm really high on this Akron team. This is like my Cinderella team if I had to pick one. But I'm gonna do it on my bracket anyways. So I want you to give a reasoning for Texas Tech because I would guess you're kind of leaning towards Christian Anderson having a big game and Texas Tech winning.
I'm gonna go Texas Tech mainly just off of the point you just said, and it would be different if JC Toppin legit just got hurt like a game before the tournament, and they haven't
True.
been able to kind of mesh and learn how to play without him. Obviously, a big loss because if he was on the team, they probably are a little bit higher than a 5, and they probably have a way better path to kind of just getting there deep in this tournament. But I'm still going to have faith in Christian Anderson. I think he's good enough to get them a game. This is somebody that we talked about being a top 2015 guy in this upcoming draft, and I feel like the continuity they have been able to build after the loss of JT Toppin, now it's been a second, they've been able to kind of find themselves and learn how to play without him. And I just think Texas Tech is one of those teams that can just get one done. Even if Akron is like able to push this tempo, I still think Christian Anderson has a big time game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Texas Tech. And this
Yeah,
is
and you can
just
pencil them
for
in
a
here
disclaimer.
too.
This is kind of me and him kind of coming together on a bracket of mix of our picks. We'll both have our own separate brackets as well.
And like we'll kind of go like there's some games I want him to pick and I won't even get my piece on. I just was high on Akron, so we'll just kind of do it laid back style, I'd say.
And then I have Bama simple in this next one.
I agree.
We get the LeBaron
like
Philon
Hofstra,
Christian
though.
Anderson matchup.
I always get nervous about Bama though. We'll be quick on this game, but I do get nervous about them with how many threes they take. I don't think they'll have to like take bad ones this game. I think they'll be able to get easy paint touches and good transition, easy like high efficient looks. But they are just a scary team just because of the style of play. You just never know.
Yeah. But we'll get to the second round. We have LeBaron Philon and Christian Anderson. And a big thing we talked about on the big board is some of these guards matching up against each other that we were talking about in that big board. Now we can go to Tennessee, and this is either going to be Miami, Ohio, or SMU. I think I'm going with Tennessee over either.
I'm actually kind of high on Tennessee. I'll give reasons why in the next round. Big shots to Miami, Ohio, though. The shit they have had to deal with the fucking media's bullshit. They were awesome this year.
Yep. Virginia and Wright State, 3-14 matchup. I'm going Virginia here as well.
I am too. Virginia's been really impressive, especially even in the ACC championship game last night. They lost to Duke. But Wright State, I tuned into their conference tournament. They are fun. They got some fucking dudes who can fly. I was watching them. I'll say this in I think it was their semifinal game. Close game the whole time. Last couple minutes, they pulled away. They're in transition, throwing lobs off the glass, hanging out on rim, like fun team. But yeah, I'm picking. I'm not gonna ride.
I think I get worried about Virginia in the next round, but then we can get on to Kentucky, Santa Clara.
I don't know where you're at in this one. I've watched a lot of West Coast Conference basketball. I like to stay up late and watch those West Coast teams play. And Santa Clara's got that efficient offense that I've talked about. And they're a team who just beat St. Mary's to guarantee that they were off the bubble in their tournament. And then they played Gonzaga very well. They've dominated all the games they're supposed to dominate this year. Earlier in the year, they went on the road to Xavier and beat the shit out of them. So they aren't one of these smaller. And West Coast is kind of a tweener between mid-major and high major. But still, I really like Santa Clara in this one. But I will say, I get nervous picking against Kentucky when they have a guy like Otega Owe. So I'm going to leave this one up to you as well. I really want to go Santa Clara, though.
Just looking at Kentucky with the injuries, I mean, I feel like this is now another tournament where they're coming in kind of limping into the tournament against the Santa Clara team that is just long, athletic, big team that can kind of match up with them. But I'm going to also take the kind of the first quote-unquote upset here and take Santa Clara over Kentucky in this one. I think they match up really well with each other. Because this is kind of the safe part about brackets, because I think either team loses to Iowa State in the next round regardless. So I can just move Iowa State path to both of those.
I think both the teams could give Iowa State a good game because Iowa State isn't going to put up 80 points on you, but I trust Iowa State right now with Tamin Lipps as a senior and everything they have going. I want to give a real quick shout of Santa Clara, a freshman, Alan Graves. He won West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year and Sixth Man of the Year. He's a guy we didn't bring up on big boards, but he might, if he doesn't transfer up to like a big time program, he could be heading to the NBA this year. I don't know if he will. He's a pretty sick like power forward. Like I think you'd really like his game. Tune in Alan Graves, 6 man for Santa Clara, freshman, 6'9", good in the post, moves well for a big. Like he's a good player.
Then we can go back up to the top, Michigan and Georgia.
I got Michigan.
Michigan again. I agree.
Yeah.
Then we have
Georgia's
the guard
just
match.
sorry, keep going.
Go ahead.
Anyways, I was just gonna say like they're just gonna be a team to me that can make games interesting in those games. Like I think Michigan will definitely win and control it the most of the time, but Georgia's played in a tough conference all year. They got a bunch of size and athleticism and that can match up well. But Michigan to me for sure.
Texas Tech
I'll
and
let you
Alabama.
pick this next game because I had Akron anyways, so I want you to pick this next game. Bama. Okay.
It's LeBaron
Phylon
and Bama to get it done. Probably you could argue he's the
Michigan,
top 5
Bama,
shot creator in this tournament. And then Tennessee, Virginia.
Oh yeah. I have Tennessee. I picked Tennessee. I like Jacoby Gillespie as their guard. I think he's a guy who can get hot for a couple games. He was on Maryland last year, who went to the Sweet 16 and maybe a Elite 8, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. Virginia is awesome, though. I really, really like Virginia. They've been like underrated all year. They have not lost many games. They just played Duke very well. I think they're going to kind of be a hot pick. I think Tennessee, it's the way Rick Barnes always been able to get his guys to grind it out. This just feels like a game that, like, if we pick Virginia, I feel like we'll start watching it and be like, we got this wrong. This isn't a real 3 versus 6. This is a coin flip game. I like Tennessee. I like Jacoby Gillespie. I think Nate Ament can bring some things, maybe have one big game. A guy I'm not very high on as an NBA guy, but he's been getting better. He just had a rough SC tournament game, but I like Tennessee.
I'm also going to go Tennessee, mainly because Virginia, the main problem with Virginia teams in the past is they have struggled on the offensive side of the ball. It's kind of what killed them at the end of that Duke game. One, Duke was playing elite level defense, one of the best defensive teams in the country. But also Virginia has just kind of struggled to score the ball in the half court at times if they're not getting out in transition when the game slows down and it gets to crunch time. So I think this is having Gillespie and Nate Ament, I think is a huge advantage on Tennessee side, having two guys that can go get it on that side of the ball. I think he's going to make, if it is a close game, I would lean Tennessee's way in a close one late.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we have Iowa State and Tennessee.
This is a tough one for me because Iowa State they really struggle to get past the Sweet 16, but I'm gonna trust them. I think this is a good matchup for them. I like Iowa State. I do.
I agree. I'm going Iowa State. I think Joshua Jefferson is just one of the most consistent players in college basketball right now, and I think they get it done and get to the Elite
Well, and
Eight.
Milan. Yeah. Milan is the best shooter in the country. It's hard to bet against him in these games. Man, I got Michigan for this game. I know you love Bama and Phylon. I got Michigan.
I'm also going Michigan. Love Yaxel Lindenberg. Big time shot. Sucks that they lost to Purdue today, but I'm also high on Purdue. So that was just an elite game. If you're Michigan, you can't even be mad at that you lost that game because it did open the eye to some of the things that can hurt you in the tournament. And they were a bigger team getting kind of killed in the paint, and that was a very eye-opening because Purdue's that 2-man game, and we'll get to Purdue when we get to Purdue. But like just talking about the game today, like they were a big team that got bullied inside.
Purdue is a bad matchup for them just because Purdue is the only team in the country that can match them with size decently. They're not quite as big, but they have Kaufman Wren and then obviously Clough, the big Australian. But then Purdue just has a better point guard. So that's why there's such a bad matchup for Michigan.
Michigan, Iowa State.
I got Michigan.
Michigan gets to the Final Four. And then we can go on to the South. Just cross over here. I'm going Florida as well. Yeah. In this one, obviously. Clemson, Iowa, another 8-9.
I'll let you pick, but this is my lock of the tournament that Clemson beats them. I'll let you pick because I don't know how tapped in your Iowa and Bennett Sturts. I understand anyone who wants to pick Bennett Sturts. I might just be being a little bit of a hater right now. Even though I kind of an Iowa fan. I love Iowa, but Clemson's size. Their struggle is size, and sometimes size it does not matter in the tournament. Your size can become unplayable, whatever. I just like Clemson in this one, but I want you to make the pick, honestly, just because I might just be I don't know, dude. I don't know. This one's tough.
I think this is an interesting one because either team is losing to Florida.
Okay.
I think Iowa has the best player in this game in Bennett
They
Sturts,
do. They do.
but I think Iowa's lack of size on the interior is what makes them kind of unserious, just in the tournament in general. Fun team, but they're just not big enough to kind of really compete in this tournament,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But it's just
That was
like
funny. I'm
they did
sorry.
get a decent. I'm not saying Clemson is like world beaters. Like could be a coin flip. We'll go back to it, but I'm gonna pick Clemson. But Florida beats whoever comes out of that, and I can just put that there now because we agree on that. Vanderbilt and McNeese.
Vandy showed me some shit in that SEC tournament, man. I don't feel like they're an upset team. I get it if you want to pick this as an upset. If you do, I might want to override for our bracket. And I might have to say, I think that's a personal upset for you, if that's what you're even saying. But I love Tyler Tanner. He's a March guard. And then Duke Miles, too. Like, they just got two good guards. Like, when you got two good guards like that, and Vandy, what they showed beating Florida, that's a really big win. And I want to respect them for that. I do think it could have gotten everyone so high on Vanderbilt that they don't even. I just don't see Vandy. If Vandy's going to lose, it's going to be to just a team that's just better than them to me.
Yeah, I think they're gonna ride the momentum and win that game for sure. Ride the momentum
Like, what are the,
and
there's just no way McNeese wins back to back upsets in March Madness. Like last year, they beat Clemson. I think Vandy's
yeah,
way better.
I'm gonna go Vandy as well. Nebraska and Troy. Does Nebraska get the first tourney win?
So I hated this because Troy was a team I was going to pick to upset someone. I can't. Nebraska's they're gonna win. They're gonna get their tourney win. There's no way, dude. That'd be so fucking bad and so funny for me as a Nebraska hater. But I'm picking Nebraska. But if you want to do it to them, do it to them.
No, I'm gonna go Nebraska. I think they get their first one.
If
Now
if
here's
that wasn't the case, though, I might be picking Troy.
yeah, I see.
Like
I see what you're saying.
I don't know, dude. Troy is good. I'll be quick. I stayed up one night early this year. You can look back to the game. Troy took USC on USC's home court to triple overtime. It was the most insane game ever, dude. And Troy beat Akron by 10 in the Sun Belt MAC Challenge like a month ago. So Troy's a legit team. They have separated themselves from other mid majors.
Looking at this next one, 6-11, North Carolina VCU. If Caleb Wilson was in this game, which he's not, it would be North Carolina easily, in my opinion, just because Caleb Wilson is that guy.
I
But
like
this
that.
does make it interesting with him being out for this game. And it's kind of the same thing. Like, has North Carolina had enough time as like a team like Texas Tech with JT Toppin being out to really get the continuity together? It's enough to win a couple games in the tournament. I don't know. But give me your take on
Well, yeah, VCU's coming off a big time Atlantic 10 championship. I mean, the Dayton fans, I thought it was awesome that Dayton got that win over, I think, St. Louis, right? Yeah. And then VCU's able to win it against Dayton. That's an awesome tournament always. I'm not going to get into that too much. I like the way VCU plays. I think that they're going to be able to. When I've watched them, they have a bunch of like one of the. I think they are like one of the best bench scoring teams in the country, and that intrigues me a little bit. I like their athleticism. I like how they get down and guard, and then they also got some buckets. They're kind of just a good team to me. I like the matchup for them. I'm not set on picking VCU, but I am sure like this is going to be one of those 6 versus 11 games where the spread on the game is not like very big, if that makes sense. That's my prediction.
mhm.
I like North Carolina's guards still, but it's hard for me to have full confidence in them since the Caleb Wilson injury. It hasn't been like it was for a Texas Tech who loses their, star player and they're able to still they have a foundation to, work with it. It seemed like remember North Carolina's biggest win of the year was the home win versus Duke. Did their guards step it up on their run at the end of the game? Yes, but pretty much for the first 30 minutes of that game, it was just Caleb Wilson absolutely backpacking. I'm not saying VCU is Duke, but I'm not fully set on picking VCU or North Carolina yet. I kind of want to hear your thoughts so that we can make a decision.
I'm going North Carolina because I feel like when I look at brackets and I'm like looking at possible upsets and it's like the star guy for North Carolina is out, it would be easy to pick an upset here. I'm going to go against the grain because I feel like a lot of people are going to look at that same mindset and take VCU. But I still think
Yep.
North Carolina, with their size, is going to be able to get out of this game with VCU, in my opinion.
I love Vasar. I do love Vasar.
So looking at him post Caleb Wilson injury, they had it on here. They are 5-3 without him, and then he's averaging 18 points a game since Caleb Wilson's been out. And I think they can
Vasar is.
yes, and they can put
Yeah.
together a game here and get it done because I think a lot of people are going to be looking at VCU as a team that could upset them in this matchup because Caleb Wilson
VCU
is out.
does have a very good big as well. I will say that. I can't remember his name, but they have a very good, just like European guy. Anyways, though, Illinois Penn.
It's Illinois.
I'll
Let's
go
not
Illinois.
overthink this. Let's not overthink this. Keenan
I
Wagner,
do
big
want to
game.
entertain the. I do want to entertain the idea that Penn does have a candidate in that power kid to be like that, like white guy shooter in March, though. But
This is going to be an elite game. I'm looking at the over in this one for sure. I think both because
good
Illinois is
talk.
one of the best top scoring teams like in the country. Like looking at that, I think we get fireworks in this first round between Illinois and Penn. But I trust Wagner down the stretch of a game with the ball in his hands to make some plays and get it done and get out of the first round. And then we can get to St. Mary's, Texas A&M.
This game hurts me because I love Texas A&M, Bucky McMillan, Bucky Ball, their style of play. I don't know if you've watched them much this year, but they pretty much run like the full court run and jump style basketball, and I love it. And I think it could create to beat a lot of teams. I think they really got screwed. They're going to be going up against one of the most disciplined teams in the country, one of the best coached teams in the country, one of the best defensive teams in the country who could slow it down on Texas A&M and really take them out of their style. I'm really torn on this pick. I think when I went through trying to make a bracket, I'm not done yet, but I think I picked St. Mary's just because I hate the matchup for A&M, and they've not been playing good recently either. You can see it. Like I just, I just don't know, dude. I really don't. I want to pick A&M so bad, but I just don't know if I can. I think since St. Mary's just brings that perfect like disciplined basketball that, like, if A&M got a draw of a team like I don't know. Obviously, not. They wouldn't play Kentucky as they're both SEC teams, but like a team that isn't quite as disciplined as a St. Mary's, like with limiting turnovers, getting stops, playing in the half court. I would be really interested in picking A&M, and I still kind of am. I still am on the fence about it, but I'm leaning St. Mary's. I kind of want to hear what you have to say.
I'm kind of going with whatever you have in this one. I'm kind of just on the fence with these two matchups in general.
I say we flip a coin because I think I want to pick Houston either way in the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Let's go St. Mary's, and then we'll go Houston to beat St. Mary's.
okay, I think that's safer if we're trying to. We're kind of a chalky bracket right now, I'll be honest, but that's okay.
Last year was chalk, man. Last year was chalk. Sometimes the upsets just aren't there every year, man.
I know.
And then we got
You always want you want upsets early, big dogs late, though. You know what I'm saying? You want upsets in the first round, then you want all the good teams to be playing in the Elite Eight against each other.
I think we got some upsets above though.
Yeah, we do. I got one
So
for sure.
Vanderbilt, Nebraska.
That's a
Does
tough
the run
one,
for
dude.
Nebraska
I'm
here
back and
end?
forth still. I don't know. Man, maybe I'm kind of in on those Vandy guards. Them giving us a Vandy Florida rematch is kind of mean because I was gonna take Vandy to beat a 1 seed maybe, but I don't think they'll be able to beat Florida twice in a row
Mm-hmm.
like they just did. They could though. They could. I like
I'm gonna
Vandy.
go
I like
Vandy.
Vandy in this one.
I'm gonna go Vandy. North Carolina, Illinois. That's where I got
I'm gonna
Illinois.
go Illinois. Yeah.
That's where I got Illinois. And then it's kind of chalk, but I kind of agree. I don't see Vandy beating Florida twice. And then I got Houston.
They
beating
could
Illinois.
though, but it's like
They could. They could.
I got Houston too. Illinois is just like Bama to me. Like I just can't. I don't know. Like against the really good defensive teams and stuff. I just don't know.
I just think this Houston team might not be as great defensively as it has been in past years, but I think this Houston team is also better offensively than it has been in past years
Yeah,
to
and they're
truly win
still
the tournament. And they're still
and
elite
they still guard the
defensively.
shit out of you. Yeah, exactly.
So I think this is going to be a tough matchup for Illinois. This would have to be a crazy Keaton Wagner game for them to beat Houston. But I'm going to go Houston here, and then we get Houston and Florida. And then does Florida give back to the Final Four, or is it Houston?
This is a national title game rematch. My thing that scares me about Florida is I don't trust their guards yet. I just don't trust their guards, but I do think they're better than Houston. But I'm so addicted to picking the better guards in March.
I'm leaning Houston here. Just off of the guard play alone, I know Haug and Condon, like with Florida in that front court, like is very good. Probably like one of the best front courts in the country. But it's just like Houston
They're
with the
gonna
guard
need
play.
Houston's gonna need Sanak to shoot the ball like he did against Kansas the other night for them to make a run. But I believe it.
Mhm.
I like it. I like Houston. This
Well,
is, I think, the same Final Four I had in my bracket when I went through first time so far.
we'll wrap back around as well. We can go into the West. Both picking Arizona here.
Yeah, but fins up, baby.
Villanova,
Long
Utah
Island,
State.
fins up. I lean Utah State. I think they're dominant. I like Falslev a lot. He's like a senior, really good player. Been there all 4 years. They always have good size. Villanova could obviously be a team that's gonna. These 8-9s are hard, dude. I lean Utah State, but it's really up to you. I mean, I don't.
I'm leaning Utah State in this one as well.
I have no
Wisconsin.
idea who to pick for Wisconsin High Point.
Mm.
I have no idea. High Point is good as fuck. They have the longest win streak in college basketball right now. They haven't lost in 20-something games.
This should be another just high-scoring game.
Yeah.
Should be another
Wisconsin's also one of
high-scoring
those
game.
teams that relies on their shooting. They really do. But Nick Boyd's an awesome guard. It's hard for me to pick against Nick Boyd.
Give me. Ooh, I'll go Wisconsin. It might be a little chalk, but I'll go Wisconsin. And then Arkansas, Hawaii. Darius Acuff is just that guy. He's
You had him
somebody
too
that's
low
just
on your
simply.
board, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
I think you did.
I probably did. He's just that guy. Well, I'm looking at him though.
He fucking sucks on defense.
Yes, the defense does worry me in terms of just the next level. But I mean, he's a college guard, right? Like he's still in college, so he has that time in the league. We're not talking NBA. He's a college bucket.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just the
with
guy
you.
that just gets it done late in games, and he's just a guy in the tournament that's going to thrive. I was high on Cal. I think Cal has a deep run in him. You could argue like in college, this is like his best guard that he's had with this, just what he's doing right now.
I know. I was
saw
having that debate actually
tweet
today.
about
Like
that
De'Aaron
too.
Fox, it felt different with De'Aaron Fox too, though.
Mm-hmm.
And like John Wall, obviously, but John Wall really didn't do it like this. The numbers, the numbers are going to favor Acuff, but I will say, De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk together at the same time. If Monk wasn't there, Fox could average 20 also. So it's like Fox is my only comp, like the only comp for him as Cal's best guard.
BYU and Texas or NC State.
I'm interested in the Texas NC State versus BYU game. I'm not gonna easily just pencil in BYU, but I am down to pick them to. I think AJ can get a game for sure. I don't think Texas. I think could be a sneaky team though that could win and give a really tough game to BYU. But I want to go BYU unless I know it's Texas. That's kind of I hate doing the bracket before the plans, but I'm down.
I'm going
I know
BYU.
you like BYU, so
AJ DeBounce he's just too dominant. He's just too dominant of a player.
I don't know, bro. I know.
I think they get at least one game.
Yeah, they should. I'm with you.
And they've been playing better of late. Gonzaga, Kennesaw State.
Gonzaga's gonna win.
I agree there.
The fuck is the spread?
Miami, Missouri.
Go back real quick. Check if they have a spread
19
out.
and a half. 19 and a half is the spread. Miami, Missouri.
I want to pick my. I like their coach a lot. Missouri. I watched Kansas beat Missouri by 30 on Missouri's fucking. Like I can't trust unless you have a thing for Missouri. They're a bubble team. I didn't really care if they got in or not. Like I would have rather Oklahoma got in over them.
There's just something about me. Can't be too chalky with a 7-10. Let me get Missouri in this next one. Let me get Missouri in this next one. And I'm going to go Purdue over Queens. Now, Purdue, I beat Missouri. Just to give my thoughts on Purdue real quick. That two-man game, I watched Brainsmith come off a ball screen, give it to Kaufman-Wren, get a re-screen handoff. It was just some of the sickest, cleanest shit. And they had Michigan in shambles in that two-man game. And Brainsmith was cooking. Once he gets that midi going, like obviously phenomenal passer. Dude had like eight assists in the first half. Like we know what he is when that comes. But
he was rocking that blood jersey.
And once he got that midi going, Like
Yeah,
it's tough to
he's
stop
he's
that
a, he's
2-man
a
game.
beast.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
I
I
love
got Purdue.
Clough. I love Clough, the
They're
big
just that
fella.
veteran senior led team that I think they're going to be the team full of like older guys that just makes a run this year.
Fletcher Lawyer. Me too. I'm telling you. What's next?
BYU and Gonzaga.
Bro, I'll be honest. I can't pick BYU. I don't trust them. I know you're high on AJ. I like AJ a lot. I watched BYU be so ass too many times this year. I just can't trust them. Not against Gonzaga. If if you're feeling an AJ upset, if you think AJ's gonna have a turning moment, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the. I have to piss so bad. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I want you to give your best case to anyone listening right now of why AJ's gonna have this tournament moment, and I'll see it on the clip. I'll see it on the clip.
So for me, obviously we know AJ DeBounce is. We see the emotion he plays with. Obviously they're down their second best player pretty much, but been without him for some time now. Playing better as of late. I feel like they're kind of starting to get their continuity back going into the tournament. Gonzaga is just what Gonzaga usually is, a really good, well-balanced all-around team. But Gonzaga also, recent years, hasn't been the greatest tournament team. They've been prone to getting upset by some teams, being a higher seed. BYU is interesting because it's like, yes, you have AJ DeBonso against a really good defensive team. What can the others give you? When I'm looking at guys like Rob White, like looking at what he's able to do with putting pressure on the rim, getting really pretty much wherever he wants to on the court with his speed. I think he's going to have a big game for them to possibly get over Gonzaga in a possible matchup. But it is tough looking at BYU because you're going to have AJ DeBounce and pretty much be the best player in any game that you do play in this tournament. It's going to be tough. This is going to be a tough pull. Gonzaga's kind of prone to getting upset, though. They're kind of prone to getting upset. Give me, man, this is tough. So Cole,
Oh,
I'm
wow,
going back
perfect
and forth.
timing.
I'm going back and forth. Main thing I'm looking at BYU is because I feel like Gonzaga is just kind of an upset-prone team. They haven't been the strongest team come tournament time, and I feel
I
like
don't disagree with you.
I just feel like they can be up and down in the tournament a little bit. But
I think BYU with Richie Saunders really moved me, bro. He's so good. It's just tough. This would be a high score guys game.
because this is a collaborative bracket, I'm gonna go Gonzaga because I can't give a good enough reason for BYU to win 2 tournament games outside of DeBanza being a guy. But I'm gonna go Gonzaga.
Bro, also this being a collaborative bracket, it's okay for the chalk because we're giving an analysis on the game. You know what I mean? Like we're not. You know what I'm saying? Like personal bracket is more for upsets. I'd say.
Right.
We're giving a legit analysis on these games, and I'm not saying there's not a real world for BYU. I'm more saying it's okay if we're just telling it how it is on here. You know what I mean?
So we have Gonzaga, Purdue in the next round. Arkansas, Wisconsin. Does Darius A. Cuff continue the run?
I picked up. I don't know, man. Wow.
You know what? I was in on the Cal run. A. Cuff is that guy. Made for March, made for tourney time. And I don't see anybody being able to stop him one-on-one with the game on the line late in game situations. Give me Darius A. Cuff. Yeah, I know people will be like, "Oh, if he's not having the greatest game, then what else are they going to go to?" I think they'll be fine. I think this is another good matchup for him against Wisconsin, playing Hawaii and Wisconsin. I think these are 2 really good matchups for him to still get his and get off. And Arkansas is also just good.
I love Trayvon Brazil for them. Like he used to just be a pure just freak athlete dunker, and now he is a good shooter, veteran player, defender, shot blocker. I love him. Backside, working on some of these, when Nick Boyd's trying to get 2 feet in the paint downhill. I love the idea of Trayvon Brazil having a big tournament also for Arkansas. So I like the Arkansas pick.
Right. Arizona, Utah State, going Zona.
Sneaky game here for me. But though I'm picking Arizona. I think Arizona wins. I think Utah State is not a team that will get blown out by a 1 seed.
Okay. Arizona, Arkansas. Does the run for Cal end here? We're pretty chalk with 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. I'm open to anything. And we got the 1-2s down below. I'm open to anything.
Listen, Arizona's hurt my heart too many times where they have such a good regular season. They just look like a completely different team in the tournament. I don't like the idea of Arizona as a 1 or a 2 seed, ever. I think that this year is a little bit different because their guard play is so good. You got the vet in Bradley, who's hit the big game winner. And then you got the rook in Braden Burries, who brings a whole different type of vibe to their team, too. Obviously, you're a big Cole Pete guy. They got the size. It tells me to lean Arizona, but I just have been fooled by them too many years. I just pencil them in to win it all. Oh man, let's let's ride the hot Arkansas Razorbacks off SEC title.
Okay. Okay.
I like it. I want to ride. I want us our bracket to have some some. It's not going to be this chalk where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5 everywhere. I if there's a team that can beat a 1 seed in the Sweet 16, I think Arkansas has got to be the team you look at, and I think we should take advantage of that.
I'm down with it. I'm down with it. Arkansas, Gonzaga, Purdue. It's Purdue. It's just Purdue.
I'm riding Purdue too, but that is going to be a great game. That's like you're looking at Graham Ek, the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, maybe has a shot at being a honorable mention All-American, second team All-American probably, and probably not. But he's an All-American level player, and him going up against all the size Purdue has, but it's Braden Smith's last run. It's Braden Smith's last run.
What a guard matchup in Braden Smith and Darius Acuff we have here in the Elite Eight for this matchup with Arkansas and Purdue.
I lean the Big Ten and Purdue in these types of games.
We got Purdue
Cal's
and Michigan.
Not going no fucking Final Four.
And we got Purdue and Michigan, the run back title game today.
I said it earlier. We don't have to pick a winner on this one. We can get to the Final Four before we pick this game. I just love how Purdue matches up against Michigan, but it's so hard to beat a team like that. Just you know what I'm saying. Anyway, let's do this East region before we do our Final Four.
Obviously, Duke here.
Duke.
Ohio State, TCU.
I lean Ohio State. I like Bruce Thornton in March right now. But TCU's good as fuck. I love David Punch. I think I just really lean Bruce Thornton. What I saw him do against Iowa and Michigan in the Big Ten tournament. Ohio State's team just took Michigan to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
I know weird stuff happens in conference tournaments, but weird stuff happens in March too. And I look at that Ohio State Duke game. Well, I'm thinking of it like this: if you like TCU, I like TCU too, but they played in the Big 12. They were good this year. They really overcame being a bubble team and just got themselves penciled in. If we're thinking Duke versus TCU or Duke versus Ohio State, what Bruce Thornton brings Ohio State, they have a much better chance of giving Duke a game. And just based off that logic, because we have Duke probably advancing to Sweet 16 anyways, I want to pick Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a Big Ten thing, so that might not be helping any of this too.
I like Bruce Thornton. I also didn't like just the overall team performance in that Iowa game. I thought they were just super sloppy late in that game, almost allowing Iowa to legit win. Yeah, almost allowing Iowa to come back and win that game. Had a clean shot at the end to win it. This makes me want to go TCU, but I just think I agree with kind of your logic here. Because I just think Ohio State, this is just a game Ohio State wins, in my opinion.
I just love Bruce Thornton, but honestly, I've watched the TCU team battle in the Big 12 like hell. So I also don't love the idea of me picking Brock Harding to win this game.
Good. I'm gonna go right back around to that one.
All right.
St. John's, Northern Iowa. St. John's, just too physical. Rick Pitino's in.
They're so fucking good. They're so good. Do you see why I'm fucking pissed about my draw?
Yeah. Oh no, you're quadrant.
Because we're a Sweet 16 team for sure, and they gave us the hard. We still could beat. There's no way we still can beat St. John. Like I think we're gonna beat St. John's. I told you I'm gonna let you pick all my Kansas games, but still, that is a fucking crazy. This whole region. Oh my gosh.
I'm going Kansas here, and then we can get to that St. John's Kansas matchup. Louisville, South Florida. Mikael Brown, is he playing in this game? Has that been confirmed?
No. They haven't made it seem like he has a legit injury, but then he just didn't play in the tournament. But he's kind of been out all year. Either way, South Florida is good. This is gonna be like a. What's the spread?
5.5.
Oh man, I don't know, dude. I think South Florida. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna be biased because they just won their title and they look good and they're just a good team. I don't know. I'll let you pick this one.
I'm looking
I lean
at
South Florida.
this Louisville team. From everything I saw when Mikael Brown didn't play in the conference tournament, it said that he was going to be tracking to be ready to play
Yeah, yes. That's
in the
that's the
tournament.
case.
So looking at that, I'm going to go Louisville. I also like Conwell as well, just being another guy that can get after it as well. So I'm going to go Louisville over South Florida. Yeah, so I think if Mikael Brown Jr. is healthy, I got Louisville in this one. Michigan State, North Dakota State.
Izzo's not losing this first game, especially this.
Mm-hmm. This is the one that you talked about, I think, before. Obviously, Donovan Dent's a question mark, but UCLA, UCF.
It's UCLA. It's UCLA. It's UCLA.
I'll ride it with you.
It's UCLA. They're good. They're very good and very well coached. Whatever people have to say about McCronin, it's UCLA, and then it's UConn for sure.
UConn, UCLA.
Yeah. This game is hard for me. I'm gonna be honest. This game's hard for me. The way UCLA's playing, if Dent comes back and their experience, I want to pick UConn, but can I tell you my concern with UConn? And I want you to hear what you say. UConn doesn't have, to me, they don't have a guy. Like, and credit to Dan Hurley because they're all good players. They don't have like that. I don't know. I know you like Caravan. He's very good, but he's not like that guard.
Oh, he's a role guy. He's a good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
guy.
that could be why they win. They just win this game. But also, UCLA plays really good against good competition, and they just played Purdue without their leading scorer, Bilodeau. I can't remember his first name. And then Donovan Dent goes out early too, and they battled with Purdue and almost like without their two best guys, Donovan Dent and Tyler Bilodeau. They gave Purdue a really good game. This to me, I haven't decided who I have to win this game yet, but when I first went through my bracket, I did pick UCLA. I really hope Donovan Dent's okay though. They said he's going to be back to the tournament.
They said they're both trending back to the tournament.
Yeah, so I understand if you want to go UConn because it's UConn. This to me is a sneaky game where it's like UCLA is better than a 7 to me. I thought they were going to get a 6. Not that is a huge difference, but I did not think they were going to get a 7.
UConn could have been.
I'll let you pick. I don't know how much UCLA you've watched, but
I'm gonna go UConn just because they could have been a 1. They get beat by St. John's bad, but then a couple weeks ago they beat St. John's by 30. So like that's interesting. I do agree with what you're saying. I do agree with what you're saying with UConn not having a guy. But sometimes when you're so dependent on one guy, like kind of like we're looking at BYU and Arkansas, and I know we have Arkansas going pretty far, even Louisville to an extent with Mikael Brown, like sometimes having that team style can help you in a tournament setting.
But I don't think like Arkansas is just that Acuff reliant.
Yeah,
like it looked like it today because he was just hitting all those shots. But at the same time, like I feel like what was it yesterday when they were playing there's Ole Miss, like who they should have maybe beat by more. Like what's his name, the other guard that goes off for that, Malik. Like he was hooping too. Like in Brazil can hoop. So I agree though. I think I like UConn here. I was going back and forth. I'm not still on UCLA. I do want to give a shout though. Like if UCLA got a different 2 seed drawn outside of maybe Purdue on the run back, I would probably be picking. Like man. Anyways, I got Michigan State against Louisville.
Michigan State, Louisville.
Yeah.
So you going Izzo?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go with you on Izzo here. St. John's, Kansas. You wanted me to determine this one?
You can pick. It won't hurt my feelings.
St. John's being so physical, but St. John's also not being this like crazy offensive team. I'm interested to see because I do think this matchup happens for sure. Interested to see how they guard Darren Peterson, and he's also one of those guys. Like I said, like not in the maybe I over exaggerated it in terms of Buddy Hield college basketball because it's been a minute. We've seen some Buddy Hield college tape, but like he's a guy that can just truly take over a game. Really good coach and Bill Self as well. We've talked about Flory as well on the defensive end of the floor.
I will say Flory needs to play better against other Flory, when he plays against a big that's not elite, he looks like the best player in the country. But when Flory plays against another elite big, he's still really good defensively, but he is not getting those like dunks all game like he does. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That concerns me a little bit with Zubi Ejiofor. I guess my one analysis on this game is that am I scared by the athleticism that they can match us with and all that and the size that we usually have on teams? Yes. But I straight up think we just have the better guard play. And I feel like I just trust my coach to get our guys ready. I trust Patino to get his guys ready too. I don't know. I'm not. This game sucks. This is like going to be the most watched game of the fucking tournament, and it's just going to be like it's going to be a really good game. Fuck.
I'm going Kansas. I'm going Kansas just because I feel like with all the narratives surrounding Darren Peterson, I think they can all be just shut the fuck up and silenced with a massive just I'm that guy, I'm the number one overall pick game. And as much as I kind of want to see it. I think we're looking at
wants to see it.
Yeah,
these narratives are chilling out, by the way. Did you see Kansas release the shit about why he's been hurt all year? Because in the boot camp he cramped up he had a full body cramp. He had to go to the hospital.
Mm.
During our Kansas basketball boot camp preseason, Darren was getting cramps and apparently fighting through them to finish the boot camp because he didn't want to sit out. You know what I'm saying? Like the conditioning test shit we did at college ball.
Yeah.
They were doing that, I guess, and he was cramping in his lower calf, and then his whole body cramped up, and they had to take him to the hospital. So he has these cramp issues that I had. This isn't about me, but a lot of kids I know that it happened to me, and a lot of guys when they transition to college basketball, they have a cramp problem. Paulo Banchero had it. I've had buddies who've had it. I had that problem. I never got cramps in high school at all. Then all of a sudden I was playing way more basketball. I'm playing open gyms every day. I'm doing way more conditioning every day. And it's not that I'm not in shape for it, but I'm just cramping a lot. Whatever it is, right? That's just a thing that can happen maybe as being a freshman. Not an excuse because none of the other guys are having that problem. But everyone's, body's different, whatever. That was that. And also, everyone struggled against Houston last game, but Darren was incredible in the TCU game. He's been playing 30-plus minutes every single game since he got called out after the Oklahoma State game. So, I like it. I think I'm going Kansas.
I just think Darren Peterson is just going to have one of kind of like how we were looking at Debanza to have this game against Gonzaga. I think Darren Peterson has that game against the St. John's and gets it done. Yeah. Duke, Ohio State, we're going Duke here. Duke, Kansas.
Are you still cool with Ohio State over TCU?
Yeah. Because I think Duke overpowers both of those teams. Duke is interesting. Foster is supposed to be back by tournament, if I'm not
till
mistaken.
The Final Four. No. Not till the Final Four? Not back till the Final. They said maybe Final Four. But then you look at what his injury is, and it's just there's no fucking way. He's not back till the Final Four. I'm almost positive, unless something changed. You want me to look it up real quick?
You can go ahead.
Caleb Foster injury.
Duke. I really like the way Isaiah Evans has been playing.
Bro.
I don't think Caden Boozer has that same game he just did.
What does he have? I'm going to be honest. He has a fractured foot. There's just no way to me, bro. There's no way. Final Four I could see, though. Anyways, I'll let you pick this game.
I'm looking at the injuries, but I just don't know if Kansas has any answer for Cameron Boozer.
We played earlier this year, and he did get his way, but if anyone has the answer, it's got to be Flory Badunga down low. But I know Boozer can play outside too, so it's how
I like Darren Peterson, but I think the road ends here, and I think Duke beats them.
Okay. At least
and then we're at UConn, Michigan State.
This is going to be a really good game. I really like some of Michigan State's guys because I really like Kohler. I really like Cooper, the bigs. I think Fears is. I'll tell you right now, by the way, if this matchup happens right here, Danny Hurley is going to lose his fucking mind trying to get calls if he sees Jeremy Fears Jr. do any dirty shit. Danny Hurley is going to lose his fucking mind. If he might, Jeremy Fears Jr. and Danny Hurley might get in a fight in this game somehow. And then Izzo's going to slide too. It's going to be negative. This will be a very negative basketball game.
Is it Izzo?
To me, this is our hardest game we've had to pick yet, maybe. I don't trust either of these teams, but I also don't want either of these teams to lose yet. You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't know if I trust either of these teams to go win this game.
Mm,
I'm a throw out. How about we do it like this? I fucking hate Duke. Which one of these teams can you see beating Duke better?
neither.
Really?
I think if any team beats Duke, it's Kansas or St. John's. Like
I like,
I'm looking at St. John's. I'm like, man, that physicality against Duke could be so interesting against Cam Boozer. That could
bro.
be
Well,
so
and
interesting.
also, and Michigan State or UConn don't got the firepower that we potentially have with like
Yeah,
all the lobs Flory can catch, the shots Darren can hit, the speed Melvin's gonna play at. So I see what you're saying.
I
I
to
lean
be
Michigan
honest
State
with
in
you,
this game.
if it was
Go ahead.
Kansas
Sorry.
or St. John's down here playing UConn or Michigan State, if Kansas or St. John's was in this bottom part, I think both teams would get to the Elite Eight.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, that's what they did with this fucking region. They made this region the most. This is
I think St. John's physicality could give Duke a lot of problems. Like, I think it can give Kansas a lot of problems. I'm only going Kansas based off of Darren Peterson's having himself a fucking game.
no, this Kansas St. John's game might go like this bitch might go overly platinum. Like this might be like one of the games of the year. I'm looking at St. John's, Kansas as like that bitch is going to be on Sunday, right? Aren't we a Friday game? Does it say? I'm pretty sure we're Friday. Did they give tip times yet? By the way, I hate when they don't give the times right away.
It's probably out now.
Yeah,
It's
I'll look
probably
at
out
them after
now.
I'll look at them after the thing. Well, oh my gosh.
Michigan State, UConn, we're stuck here. Does Michigan State have a little bit more offensive pop than UConn
I don't think
to
so.
you?
No.
No.
I think Michigan State is a good offense. I think they're not
These are
known for
two
that.
similar
I think
teams.
Fears can create really good shots, but when I think of offensive pop, I'm thinking of Danny Hurley running masterclass sets to get guys open shots. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go UConn there because I think it's like I agree with your take on them not having like a guy, but the offensive sets and creation that they can do to get and generate open shots against a Michigan State team that isn't really the best offensive team itself. I just trust Dan Hurley to kind of put his team in a better position to generate better offense against Michigan
Yeah.
State compared to the other
Okay.
way around.
The thing
And I
about
just think
Michigan
UConn
State
has
that
a little bit better spacing, a little bit better shooting than Michigan State.
I agree. I think that the thing people don't realize about Michigan State, they think of them as this like half court grinded out team, but they'll take every advantage they can to run in transition. But I think UConn's going to do a good job of not taking bad shots and not allowing those clean transition possessions. You know what I mean? So that's why
Right.
I like that pick a little bit. That's a really tough one though. And then if you're thinking Duke, you can ride that. I have no reason why I think UConn could beat Duke. So yeah.
It's just the Foster thing. Like, are you getting that Caden Boozer performance that he gave you against Virginia in that first
That's
half?
why I think that we're going to beat Duke. Because I think
Like,
we just have better guards than them. But
because that was
either
the
way,
best game he's had this season. And I'm looking at, he had his best game of the season, and Virginia was still right there.
it's
And
UConn.
Isaiah Evans had
It's
a good
UConn.
game.
It's UConn. It's UConn actually because Danny Hurley's just not gonna. He's just gonna. If he gets the Elite Eight, they're locked. That means UConn's locked the fuck in, and when they're locked the fuck in, I'm okay with UConn. Don't listen to me though. I really am a
This
Duke hater.
quadrant, when I'm making my own bracket, this little St. John's, Kansas Duke shit right here. I mean, no offense, Ohio State, but
Yeah,
this is,
bro.
we're talking about different teams here. Like, I'm sitting here watching a matchup where I'm like, man, Darren Peterson having a game, they're running into Duke, but then I'm like, St. John's physicality against Duke. I was like, fuck, like they're like a bigger team that could give Cam Boozer maybe some problems, maybe slow them down. Duke's not having the same level of guard play they had without Foster. Can Caden Boozer kind of be that guy to step up like he did against Virginia? I don't know. Like,
Foster also changed like how they could ball pressure and pick guys up. Like he was so just feisty on defense too. Like
they're also
I'm
missing
okay
Patrick
with
Longwood
going.
as well.
I'm okay with UConn here. I really am. I don't
I'm
know.
trying to
That's
convince
up to you.
myself of like can Kansas beat St. John's and Duke and UConn? I just don't know. I just don't know about that.
Nah, don't
That'd
do
be
it.
a crazy
Don't
run
do
by
don't
DP.
do the Kansas thing here.
A
That's what I'm
crazy
gonna
run
do.
by DP. A crazy. I'm gonna go.
Hey, we've beaten 3 top 5 teams this year. I just want to throw that out there. But either way, we lost to Duke earlier this year. It was actually a good game when we were not a good team either. We were not good at this time of the year. We lost to Duke in a solid game. What was the score of that, John? Go all the way down to our shit. No, it doesn't even show. It just shows last Or what is this? Is that tournament
I go
games?
on
Last
here,
tournament
guys.
game?
66, 78.
Yeah. It was close the whole time, I guess I should say. It wasn't like, like they pulled away at the end.
Give me UConn. Give me. Fuck.
I like our Final Four.
I think, man, because Cam Booster's just so dominant. And he kind of plays that pseudo point forward. And Isaiah Evans playing so well. But UConn can probably create.
Bro, this ain't the ACC no more. They're going to get a tough game.
Gotta go UConn. Do we go UConn?
I want to go UConn. I don't want Duke in the final.
We'll go UConn. Mainly. Then we got UConn, Houston.
UConn.
Sampson again. Like,
I can't do it with him anymore.
is it UConn in the national title game?
Yeah.
Houston just has this such good mix. Like,
you don't think that yeah, I'm okay with either actually in this one.
I think Houston has such a better mix having Kingston Flemings at the guard spot.
Look at us, 3-2 seeds in the Final Four. That ain't chalk. We're not chalking it. We're not chalking it. We got 2 seeds. I'll let you pick this one.
Houston, we're relying on Chris Nack to have a really good tournament here for Houston to get.
Yeah, we are. 100% are. I trust JoJo Tugler to do his thing, but and I think Flemings is that guy. So like, I got him over Caleb Wilson.
He had a tough game in the tournament, but
his Arizona game was not
trouble. Yeah, because he's gotten into foul trouble, and Arizona's kind of is a tough matchup.
Him and Chris didn't play very well against Arizona, but that just tells me that if those other guys are going to be playing like that, they're able, and then you get more from them. I'm in on that. So
we're gonna go Houston, and then Purdue and Michigan, the run back.
So this is what I'm saying about this game that I don't like is that I do think Purdue just matches up with Michigan so well, but Michigan's such a good team that I don't know if I see them losing to them again in the Final Four with all the experience, size, and depth. If Kaysen wasn't hurt and they had extra guard depth, I'd like this even more. And Purdue is just the type of team that's just going to lose in heartbreak fashion. So I like Michigan right now, but everything I said about how they match up with Michigan still stands.
If you watch that game and you didn't, go and watch that second half because Purdue completely controlled the back half of that game. Fuck. Michigan's size. I do like.
I'll lean Michigan. But if Purdue, by the way, we got to remember Houston and Purdue going into the year were the preseason AP number 1 and number 2 teams. Purdue was 1 and Houston was 2.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
I'm trying to see if there's anything that can stumble up Michigan on this run here. I just think they beat Iowa State, though.
I do, too. I don't see anything yet.
I think Michigan has the easiest run to the Final Four.
They do. They 100% do, especially in my bracket that I started making where I have them playing Akron in the Sweet 16.
I'm looking at this Arkansas game. I'm like, man. I'm looking at Arizona, too. I'm like, man. Darius Acuff beat them. Like, after what? Because I'm looking at Arizona just beat Houston. I know Kingston Flemings didn't play well, but then we're looking at, I think Houston's a better team than Arkansas. But it would just be like Darius Acuff just having himself a day.
What we have to think about, though, right now, too, is that where we're picking in these games, it can seem like one thing right now, but after you've watched these teams all rip off 3 or 4 wins in a row, nothing is crazy. Like, nothing is crazy. It's not surprising that UConn can beat Duke coming off that Michigan State win. It's not surprising that Purdue can beat Michigan once again. They just ran the table. They just beat Gonzaga. They just beat like this is my thing. Like, it seems a little different now than what it will feel like when these games actually happen. Obviously saying if your bracket was perfect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if this was what the matchup is. I want to go Michigan, to be honest. I don't want to. I think Michigan. I want to go Purdue. I have Michigan Purdue in my personal bracket in my Final Four too. I'm okay with this being somewhat similar to my actual bracket because it's our fucking picks. So our brackets are probably gonna be pretty similar to this.
I'm trying to sit here and like look at some of the things where like, because I don't know. I think I might wait till the last possible second to go St. John's, Kansas, Duke. Give me Houston and give me Purdue. I want to go Purdue.
I like the Purdue-Houston final. That's like what I might do in my actual bracket. Does Braden Smith win it or do they lose in heart? Does Braden Smith win it in his senior year when They have lost in the title game to UConn before. They've had all these heartbreak losses. They've been upset in the first round when he was a freshman. They had Jaden Ivey. Then they had Zach Edey. They lose in the championship to UConn. Then last year, they go all the way. Well, I don't remember where they lost last year. Either way, always a heartbreak loss for Purdue. I think they lose in the Elite Eight last year. Why can't I remember who they lost to last year? Anyways, it's always a heartbreak loss with them. Does Coach Painter, Trey Kaufman-Renn, Fletcher Lawyer, Braden Smith, or does the freshman in Kingston Flemings lead his team to a national title?
I think it's so due for Sampson to get over the hump eventually.
Huh?
It's so due for Houston to just get over the hump.
These are the two teams that are the most due. These two teams are the most due.
I'm going to go Houston because I think having guys like Sharp and Uzang, like, give them a little bit more pop on the wing compared to a Purdue team.
Compared to a Fletcher Lawyer? You think those bigs are going to take care of... Okay. Both these teams are the two most due. That's why I love how our bracket ended. I love that we ended with Houston Purdue because these two teams are the most due to win a title.
Give me Houston just because I think... No, give me Purdue. In our bracket, we should go Purdue because I think late in game, I chose Braden Smith to give us the best shot.
Yeah. We're Braden Smith pod. There we go. Purdue's our champion.
Pod. Tiebreaker?
Nah, thinking like... I don't know. Like 147. It's fucking Houston. 147. But then it's Purdue, who has like one of the best offenses. I don't know. Like 70 to... This doesn't really matter.
So we're going to go Houston and Purdue. 3 2s and a 1. Michigan probably has the easiest road to the Final Four.
Could you... I need to ask you a question. And I was nervous to ask this. Is there a path for my Kansas Jayhawks to win a national title or no? After the Duke, assuming we beat Duke.
I think if you guys beat Duke, you're going to go. I think playing Dan Hurley and the way they prepare for games and just the way that they are able to just generate really good shots, it's so tough.
I love our pick for that.
Yeah.
I do.
But I think with what Houston kind of showed, like, I think getting there would be tough. Like, I think Florida or Houston would be a tough game for Kansas. Because I think what you said about Flory and playing elite level big, I think Condon would be a tough... Florida's a tough big team that could give them some trouble.
Fuck yeah.
So I think either way... Yeah.
Sorry, keep going. Yeah.
I'm trying to look at some of the other things in the bracket. Like Arkansas, Purdue, I think that would be a crazy game. But like, I think Houston, Purdue, two of the most due teams. I like how our bracket turned out. Let us know down in the comments where you guys think we went wrong. This is our official bracket. Me and Cole will have our own individual brackets, but we'll just this episode coming together, talking about the games and everything else like that, seeing how the bracket shaped out. Anything else you want to add, Cole?
My brain is just overwhelmed with basketball stuff right now, and I'm just excited. So, no, I'm just ready for it to get started. I got too many thoughts, too many scenarios. Well, I might. You know what I might do this week, Corey? I might drop some March Madness preview reels. So
okay,
stay tuned for that. Huh?
I bet for sure. But that is all we have for you guys on the Barrel Talk podcast. Make sure you join the group as well. Barrel Talk Podcast BC for Bracket Challenge. Win a free NBA jersey of your choosing. All the links will be down in the description below. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of the Barrel Talk podcast. Hope you tune in to future episodes.